and it's I just can't.
Shut up, bitch!
It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what I show. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter!
It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
You guys look like... What do they look like, Jimmy?
Dorks. They look like a couple of dorks.
Jamie, shut the fuck up.
It could be chlamydia or gonorrhea, and there could be an infection. Yes, she said. I don't know, Aaron.
Woof woof. Hello, YouTube. You're tuned into WTF Radio and watching me, Lady Red. And today, yes, we're going to go back to discuss this lady here, Gabi Jacobson. Gabi Jacobson lives in Florida with her fiance / boyfriend / he doesn't really live here on paper though, right? At least that's what I heard. But you didn't hear from me because I'm not one to gossip. But yeah, Gabi, a whole train wreck, a whole rage baiter. She loves to rage bait and then cry bully. Yeah, she's been in numerous court cases that she has done herself and lost across multiple states and lost, and still wants $5,000 from you to just give it another try because she's certain that these people are bullying her, even though many courts have told her she's wrong. She wants to do it again, and she wants your money to do it. Accountability? That's not for Gabi. That's for everybody else. Let's begin.
Sea is red, red,
You
red.
guys will never understand what it like when you have been beaten, emotionally abused. It's too hard to explain. No one's gonna believe. No one's going to understand until you have actually had 4 years of this. You just won't understand it. And so the reason why I'm doing all of this is because 1, I'm trying to get justice. 2, I'm trying to speak out. 3, I'm trying to not be silenced, because this is what it is, right? When people think that they can be behind screens and think that they're unstoppable, untouchable. They think that they're allowed to do this, and they can't. They're not allowed to do this. What they have done is so illegal. It's not even funny. Way past it. It's about speaking up, standing up, trying to fight, a mother's fight, being an advocate, being a survivor of cyberbullying, and not letting these people get to you, because there's so many people that unalive themselves, okay?
Gabi, who beat you? You know, you say you've been beaten and body shame, all this. Who beat you? You're comparing your experience on TikTok to a DV victim, right? It's not the same. You kept coming on here for 4 years. If it's so bad and it made you cry and all this whatever nonsense, you kept coming on multiple times a day. You even brought your child on. Gabi, tell me what you think a judge would do for you. You want justice. Let's see. Well, you keep going on multiple times a day for hours. You must not be too scared. That's what they're going to look at it as. Now, it didn't bother you to bounce your breast all around TikTok here not too long ago. That was fine. Tell me how this shit makes sense. You couldn't wait to tell people or drop clues for people to know where you work, because you don't want to work. And you're just waiting to use that as an excuse. Wow. Gabi, if you were that scared, you'd make sure nobody could find out where you worked. But this is just a thing that just makes you look more ridiculous. The 3 people that you're talking about suing, those are the 3 people I'd want if I had a problem. And I know they haven't done anything to you. I know they haven't. Now, people have come hard for you on that book. Because in order to tell a story, you got to have the other story, right? But they want to make sure you're not using their names for a bunch of lies. And I don't blame them. Because in your mind, it's true. It's a make-believe story. What's so mind-blowing to me is you want justice, and you want to write this book, and you want to speak out and advocate, but you're at risk in losing your 4-year-old son, and you can't even advocate for that. You can't make sure you could do whatever it takes for that not to happen. You do the opposite. You'll do the opposite. You are so hell-bent on being right, winning at something. Tell me, what group would want you to advocate for them watching you bouncing your boob all over TikTok? Tell me that. What advocate group would want you talking to their children with an open DCFS case? Please tell me this. Please tell me. Again, you want this make-believe story of what happened to Gabi. You know, Gab, again, you're not a DV victim. This site, maybe you do have bullies that are saying mean things, but it's not from the group you're trying to accuse. It is not. It is not. And none of these people would do that to you. So you better make damn sure you know what you're talking about. Your no evidence screenshots aren't going to be what helps you. You know, Gabi, I wish you'd I wish you would fight this hard for your child. You didn't even you wouldn't even take the time to potty train him. And now you want to put another narrative out there about a Gabi, I promise you this will not end well for you. And that's going to be what it takes for you to even get a clue. So, you know, go do your thing. Go finish your make-believe story. But you're a piece of work. You are a piece of work.
And shout out to Under the Rug on TikTok. I thought that her commentary on this was excellent. And it leads into what Gabi did today, which was she fully exposed that she is working for Dunkin' Donuts. Yep, she showed everybody, verified it, has her cap on. We're going to watch it. But I find that rather odd for somebody that's being bullied and has PTSD. She can't even have a knock on the door without freaking out, right? But it gives her a week and she's already exposing where she works. That is not the behavior of somebody who is afraid. Yeah, so let's watch more. And again, shout out to Under the Rug. Thank you very much.
She's Italian. But anyway, back in Illinois, they were in boxes, and they were saying that they were going to call the airlines, and they said that I was packing rugs. And so then there was times where they would say, I'm your grandfather, and they were like, I'm going to be picking you up from the airport. Thank you, Mom of 3. These people have done some pretty bad things. Betsy's the one that I remember I was out. It was like the farm or whatever. It was in Illinois. And my mom, Jasmine, she's like, Gabi, somebody is telling that you are shooting up heroin. Well, I'm like, wait, what? So I was on crutches, I remember. And she posted a picture or something of my arm, but it wasn't my arm. It was somebody else's arm. And a crutch, making it look like it was me, and it wasn't. So I called the police, and I just said, I need you to come to my house, make a report.
So, Gabi, you've been calling the police and making cases and reports on people for years and years. This is Gabi talking about her bullying case that she's had and when she was all the way back in Illinois. So this is quite some time ago. Poor Gabi has been bullied forever, I guess. But somebody said it looked like you were using rugs in your arm, so you called the police and made a report? Wow, that's a super extreme reaction. Do you like attention much?
So, that was that. And then just body shamed. Called me and my twin sister the drama twins. Me and my sister got into a lot of fights because our chats got in between us. And I believe that the app really made us lose the relationship that we had in the beginning. Because Danny and I would always be on live streaming. We would always, like her chat be like, hey, Gabi, go to like Danny's house. Something's wrong. During those months, it was more like, it wasn't really bad. It was more like, how can I really explain it? It, like, the chats were like really nice, and I have seen all my lives, yes. So a variety of different groups kept choosing you to pick on over the years, yes. Yeah. And it just kind of got bad. The haters would say this to this group. It was just spread of rumors around the whole tower. I don't know how to explain this. I don't know. I really don't know. And then I really do know that, like, me and my sister kind of really, they didn't really like us being happy. And we would just like have a really good relationship back in Illinois. I remember that. I was coming over to Danny's house. She would come over here, help with Cameron. We would be on live. The chats would be enjoying the company that we would be doing. We would just be living our lives, being happy. And then the chat started to argue and make up shit and cause a lot of drama back and forth. And then that's when Danny and I kind of argued. And then the chats were probably like, ooh, I like this drama. So they kept going and then making like lies saying Gabi did this and Danny did this. And they kind of loved it. So they kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And I think it just, that happened. And there's so much. I mean, my supporters would be able to tell you about this kind of stuff because they were here. I saw you around 2023 after you found mold. You had barely any views. It's true. At first, did you respond to anything? Everything? Not really. Kind of, but not really. I feel like I'm doing better now, though, in anything. You're welcome, Mercy. You're welcome, honey. Well, maybe my supporters don't have money. I mean, is this in your book? It is. It is. This is when I met you, Gabi, 2023. It's really hard to explain all of this, you guys. All I know is, do I deserve any of this? No. Did I make mistakes? Yes. Did I say things that I should have not said? Yes. Have I apologized and owned up? Yes. But you know what? That's part of life. You just learn and you grow, and if you hold me into a box and if you won't let me out to even just grow or even try to do better, and you hold on to that past, this will never go away. Now, I am trying my hardest to be better because I want to be better. All of this drama is horrible. I'm not looking to be famous. I'm looking for, listen, after the whole years of 4 years being stalked and bullied and beaten and emotionally abused, I was very silent. You guys, you have to understand, as my supporters, the people would be in boxes. I would never go in boxes. People would blow me up saying, Gabi, they're doing this, they're saying this about you, and it wasn't even true. And I just shut my mouth. I shut my mouth and I did not engage. I did not fight back. I did not. Have they bullied you since you became a mom? Yes. I did go private. That's another thing. I went private and then somebody is in, there's so many of them. I don't know if I pick, I don't know. I've tried everything, y'all. And I feel like now it's gotten so much worse. And it's not, I've had this platform for 4 years, right? I've built up my mom content. I built up a lot of friends and family and supporters. And I've never meant to hurt anybody. That's not my intentions. It never was. It was just about me being real and me being a mom and showing like it's okay to make mistakes. And here it is. Like, it's raw and filtered. And yeah, you get the end of the stick of being online and whatever. I mean, I could handle hate. I could handle saying, oh, I can't stand her content and da-da-da-da. But it's the fact of like them twisting the narrative, making it their story, and putting just not the whole truth and making me seem like this horrible monster that I really am not. And it's just horrible. And the body shaming is just awful. And I feel like after 4 years of being silent, I feel like now I can't walk away, because even if I turn off this app, it follows me everywhere. It will never disappear, because once it's online, it's forever. Ever. And so I feel like in my heart and mind that's why I wrote this book, not only to heal me, but to get my truth out. And it's not about being a victim. I really want to make that clear. Yes, in my paper, in my diagnosis, it does say I'm a victim of being bullied, okay? Because I had to show evidence. Now listen, I didn't go to my doctor and say, I'm getting bullied. I had to show evidence. I showed videos to my doctor, my psychiatrist. It took 2 hours of her looking into all of this. And yes, that's when she said it. And so, anyway, it's not about me playing the victim here. That's not really what I want to say. It's more about speaking up and telling everybody that you're not alone, and you can rebuild yourself, and you can still come out through the fire by still breathing and still being okay. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to my story. And I just feel like a lot of people are in my situation. And I get that it's just, it's no excuse for someone to bully you. And that's really what a lot of people, and I hate when they say, well, Gabi, you caused this. Well, Gabi, you're on a public platform. You're right. You're right. Absolutely. I will not disagree with you on that. But there's a big difference on what they have done versus having their opinions. And like, I'm okay with going in, like, you can go on live and you can say, I didn't really like Gabi's content, or I whatever the case may be. But like, bringing up children constantly 24/7, I don't care if he's on a platform or not. I, as a mother, I could never, ever talk about somebody else's kid. Ever. I don't care what they've done. I can't. Because I feel like, what did that child do to you? Like, what did that child do to you to make you, and so talking about C for hours and hours and hours and hours is just very immature and very much out of control. And showing private information, private documents. Not only are you doing that you're exploiting the child. You're literally doing exploitation. Just to let you know. On the other note, when you body shame, that's wrong. When you do death threats, that's wrong. But here's the one thing you guys gotta understand, and I'm so pissed off because there's one creator, and if you know what I'm talking about, great. She was all for the justice for Cam, and we love this little boy, and we're gonna save you, Cam. I really need to show you guys this video. She's like, I don't care about that kid, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you can't sit there and you cannot say that you care about Cam and then say that. It's not about, and then, it's just, I don't even know. No, they do talk about C. They do talk about C. When did you start writing your book? 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Digital. Yeah, so I just had another screenshot that they did of me. I mean, this is wrong. And this is just plain out wrong. It hurts. It's not funny.
Wow, there's just a lot to unpack there, Gabby. You really like to hear yourself talk, first of all. Second of all, because you like to hear yourself talk so much, you might want to work on the proper pronunciation of some of the words you use. Like exploit. You could learn to say that word, since you want to use it. And the only one that's been exploiting Cam is you. And people talk about him, or have been talking about your mothering of him. And the fact that you're always online trying to put all these diagnoses on him, right? You swear that he's autistic, and then there's paperwork showing that he's not. And then you think he has ODD and ADHD, and you say he's chewing through cords and on doorknobs and wood. And have you looked into pica? I'm sure that you have, because you really like to self-diagnose yourself, your son, and your viewing audience. Nobody's exploiting him but you. And you can't have mommy content and then not have the people that make commentary on your content, right? Not be about your mothering. That's literally what your content you say is about, right? So that doesn't make sense. You can't have it both ways. You're the one that put Cam out. You're the one that exploited him. And when it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, now you cry victim and say bully and all this bullshit. People do care so much about little C. So much. It's really unfair, Gabi, what you've done to him. You've been labeling him with problems that he doesn't really have. And you've delayed his production, or not his production. You've delayed his growth. You've put him behind. And he didn't need to be. Your friend just had him for a few days and he was potty trained. You lack a bond with him. And that's mean to say, but just from and that's my opinion. But it's weird. Everything seems forced with you when you're around your son. It's sad. But yeah, you're the one that exploited him, not the internet, Gabi. And you've been writing this book for years? Weird. And how do you know for sure that it's these 3 people or 2 people that you want to sue when you just admitted that it's been groups of people throughout the years that have bullied you? How did you pick those 3? Just a question. And I'm going to keep following up on you. I find you interesting and dangerous. I really think people should look into Munchausen, and then Munchausen by proxy. You know, there's a really dangerous, interesting story about Munchausen by proxy, Gabi. You might want to look into Gypsy Rose and what happens when the children grow up and they feel that they've been abused in this way by their mother. I would never want anything like that to happen to you or Cam or anybody. But the way you exploit him and the way you've delayed him, it is abuse in my opinion. The only one that really is a bully is you. And most of the time your son. And that's what people talk about. Not your son, but you. And yeah, they do talk about some of the things that Cam has done, like lift up your shirt and grab your breast and say suck, suck, while you're trying to say that you weren't breastfeeding him. But everything that he was doing around that time kind of looked like you were and didn't want to admit it. I don't know either way. But that was one of the things, I guess, that they talked about Cam. But most of the time, it's been your mothering. Well, that's it for now. I did write a song for you, Gabi. So I hope everybody enjoys it. I will see you all later. This is Lady Red and WTF Radio. And Gabi, this is accountability.
Oh, accountability. What you've done to me. Accountability. Why won't you let me be? Accountability. Who are you to me? Accountability. There's no regret in me, and you see I'm Yeah.